Hey guys, Buck here, BTM Scale Modeling, and welcome back to the bench. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Great holiday, always fun. Hopefully the hangovers aren't too bad and everybody had fun and safe this weekend. Got a lot accomplished this week. Been fighting a little bout with stomach bug. This winter's really been kicking my butt, but got a lot more decaling done, got a lot more work done. I think you guys are going to enjoy. We did also get started on weathering the saucer and finishing up some odds and ends on there. Same with the nacelles. I'll explain that in the video and basically what I got done this weekend. Guys, we're getting ever closer. I can feel it, I can see it, I can taste it. This is finally starting to come together, hopefully in the next week or two. Like I said, my goal is by Easter weekend to have this done. So yeah, there's that. Next project I'm starting to think about, like I said, I know I've been talking about the Voyager, but I might knock a small kit out before then, just to take a break from a Starship. Other than that, guys, let's get to the bench and see what we got done this past weekend. Okay guys, it's Saturday, St. Patty's Day. We're back to work. Getting closer, ever closer to finishing the Enterprise. Just a few quick things I wanted to show you. Let's see if I can get up here where you can see enough. Now, yeah, you can tell the difference of the paint, but I finally got all the seam work done that I wanted to get done. Now, just a little bit, there are some imperfections. That's always going to happen. But I'm confident that the decal work from the round twos is going to help cover up the little imperfections that I couldn't take care of. And one of the things is that I've learned while building is sometimes you keep going at something, you're more than likely to ruin it and then really get upset and just throw the model to the side and say the hell with it. So what I did is I got all the seam work I wanted done, got all the touch-up painting I wanted done. Like I said, there's just minor little imperfections, and I'm going to let the round 2 decals help cover that up, and also with the slight weathering that I'm going to do. But wanted to show you, started getting the decal work done on the bottom. Now this is all done. There's still some slight air bubbles that I got to take out, a little silvering, but just on a side note, the silvering will excuse me, come out when I do the gloss coat and then start the weathering. Wanted to show you, show you here the deflector dish. I got that all taken care of. I'm going to zoom in here a little more so you guys can see. Hopefully I can get it to. So basically all I did was finally got it mounted, did putty work or Bondo work, and then just went in and touched up the bronze metallic paint for the deflector dish, and it turned out really well. I think it looks really good, and when we go do our weathering, it's gonna just pop it. So plan for the rest of the weekend. Oh, sorry, before we get into my planning, wanted to show you this also, guys. Got the neck all done with the round 2s. It's all set, done. We're good to go. We only got a couple of decals that we're going to have to put on for the kit decals, the cargo bay hatches, and then Enterprise logo. So the plan for this weekend, busy weekend, I'm going to get all the round 2 decals onto the upper part of the secondary hull, get those set and dried, work on the air bubbles. And going forward, my plan now, before I add any more kit decals, is I would love to get the nacelles on. Just to start a little more of getting this finished. I want to get them set, get them leveled, and tested. Other than that, guys, we're getting ever closer. Maybe one more weekend. Like I said, I kind of skipped some workouts this week. I did some, but I'm like I said, I'm really itching. I want to get ever closer to getting this done. So I'm going to work on the decals. I'm not going to make you guys sit through watching me put on decal after decal after decal. You've already had to experience that. But what I will do is we are going to weather up the saucer section, and I'm going to show you how I do that. So I'm going to get these decals on, and then we're going to go to our next step and start weathering up the saucer section. So stay tuned, guys. Hey guys, just a quick thing before I keep going on these decals. As you can see, I'm starting to get the pylons done, starting to work on the main body of the second hull. But if y'all had the question, I don't know, but I'm going to throw it out there. You may ask, when you look at the instructions, you know, you can see they're broken down into different grids and the like of that. So that's what I've been following. But you might be asking, well, how do I know where to put it on the kit? Well, basically the simplest part is, remember the panel lines I scored? When you're looking at the decals, so let's take like 165 here. So if you're looking at your kit, you'll see, well, let's not do that one. Let's do one that you can actually see. Let's see, 170 here. So 170 is going to go right here on the kit. But you're like, well, how do you know what to do? Because there's one that goes here and one here. So basically, I just match up the grid line to what's going on. And that's where I use to set the decal at, is on that grid line. And that's been working fairly well. It seems for the most part to be doing great. I don't know if that's how they intended it, but that's my little tidbit with working with the Polar Light 2s when you're working on the secondary hull or even this main saucer section is, you know, make sure you score out or etch out your grid, your panel lines, because that's going to be your guide to doing the decal. So I'm going to get back at it, and I will see you guys when I get this part done, and we'll start working on weathering the upper saucer section. Okay guys, well, one more part of the mission is done. All the Aztec decals from round 2 are on. Wow. Some takeaways again on these decals. Very, very good decals. I like them a lot. Only little problem is they do like to bubble. No matter how hard you push down on them, once you put the Solvaset and they start to shrink, they still have air, and I think that's a lot of times because when we go and do these windows normally on a kit, we drill them out, so there's always a release. Well, with this, it's just a smooth surface with a little bit of etching. So for the most part, I'm happy with it. I will use these again. They're very good decals, especially for this Enterprise D. I know I have a buddy who is painting his own decal, Aztecing, and running into a problem with the vinyl. So if you guys are trying to figure out whether you want to paint, which I'm very big fan of doing, that's how I like to normally do. But with this Enterprise D, as you can tell, there's several subtle shades of blue with the gray, and for the most part, I think going with the round 2 decals to get the Aztecing done on a ship this size, and as intricate as it is with all the Aztecing on it, I'll use these decals again. So plan now is going to let this dry, let it set, come back around in a few hours, take out the bubbles, put another coat of Solvaset on it, let that set, and then start getting do my gloss coat, get it all sealed in so it's done, because I'm going to put the neck and the nacelles on and get that all wired up. Now, backtrack real quick. Sorry, guys. One of the things I did notice with these on the secondary hull is, while the instructions are great, they didn't match up very well. So you have to take a little bit artistic license. And what I mean by that is, let me get it down here, let it focus. As you can see, you had overlap going down into the deflector dish. Well, I don't want that, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to allow this to dry, and then I'm just going to take my X-Acto knife and take that away. But I want these decals to sit before I do that. Other than that, like I said, I really have no issue with these decals, and I will use them again. Now, being the first time, I might have done something wrong. But again, it's your kit. Take a little free license, make it your own. So when we come back, I'm going to clean up the desk. Show you guys, man, this thing is like just crap. Ola got stuffed bowls and pieces, and you know, it's just a right mess. So I'm going to clean it up, and we're going to come back and we're going to start the weathering on the saucer section. So guys, I will see you in a moment. Stay tuned. Okay guys, welcome back. So as you can see, I got the saucer section down. I did some trimming on the wires, leading out of the saucer just to shorten them up a little bit for anticipation of when I get all this put together. So, little recap: Aztec, then kit decals, and then I glossed it again with, you know, spray gloss. What I did was it sealed everything in to prepare for the weathering stage. So basically, what we're going to start with is we're going to go with panel line, to me a panel line black accent. And as you remember, I etched all the panel lines out because I wanted to keep that detail, and this is just going to create a little bit of shadow. Then after that dries, and I'll show you, sometimes it can be a mess, I'm going to show you what we're going to do with that next. Then from there we're going to take and use our Starship Filth modeling oil. And that's very simple, very easy to do, and I will show you that. But you're gonna need, if you do get this modeling oil, I will tell you guys, you need to get some odorless mineral spirits. That's what I use, and I'll explain that as we go. So the first part, like I said, is just getting the panel line brought back out. Get that little bit of detail, and the same with the phaser ring. Is all this accent does is just basically what it means. It's an accent. It just pops it back out. So that's the first thing we're going to do. And then, like I said, after that we'll go back and we'll do the Starship Filth. And then once that's done, we are going to put another matte coat. We're going to start dulling it down. We're going to do a matte coat of clear gloss, matte clear gloss, clear. Then just one little extra thing I like to do is I have some pastels and I have a nice light gray, and then I'm just going to dust it. Just dust it, take down any of the sheen, and maybe one last coat of matte. I'll have to see how that looks. I might dust it first and then do that matte. All that does is it just gives your model that less toy look. As Lou DeMasso over at Aztec Dummies likes to say, this stage we're at right now is the toy stage. This is where it looks like it's a toy, so we're going to start taking that down. So I'm going to get everything ready, and we're going to do some of that favorite thing I like to do of fast forwarding the video so you can see how I do all this and not have to sit there for 20-30 minutes watching me do it. So give me just a second, guys, and we'll be right back. Guys, well, that's the first step. It's done. Again, you might go, holy crap, what's going on? You got a mess everywhere. Well, that's where the mineral spirits are going to come in, and I'll show you how that works. So now we're just going to let it dry. Then I'm going to flip it over, do the underside of the saucer, flip it back, and by that time I should be able to go through and clean it up, and you'll see the effect that I was going for with this panel line accent. So I'm going to keep at it, guys, and I'll see you here in a little bit. Alright guys, welcome back. So the next step on the weathering and getting everything cleaned up is we got to wipe off all the excess, to me, accent. That's going to happen, but this is also a good tutorial because a lot of modelers, they will actually brush the whole kit and then do what I'm going to do. I didn't do that. I just put into the lining where I want, and then I had the excess over. So basically two things. First off, I would suggest getting some gloves. At this point in stage, you want to keep as much finger oil, body oil off your kit as you can. Second, you need a clean rag, or like I said, I beat these up t-shirt rags at Home Depot. They're pretty simple. Mineral spirits, the odorless mineral spirits, works really great. So basically it's a real simple technique. All you're going to do is wrap the cloth on your finger like so, dip it in, get the excess off, and then all you're going to do is lightly rub. You just want to clean just like that. Just lightly rub. You don't want to take off the out of the panel line. You just want to rub off the excess. Real simple. So again, do a little bit more here. Just lightly. You don't have to put a whole lot of pressure. This stuff works really, really great. You just lightly rub. And as you can see, let me turn it around here. Zoom in just a little bit more for you guys. And as you can see, I'm just lightly rubbing and just taking off that excess and just leaving the stuff inside. And that's all there is to it, guys. Now you're gonna go back, and as you come out, you'll see, oh my god, I missed spots. It's okay, you can go back in, do the same thing until you get it just the way you want it. Again, it's not a perfect science. It just takes time and technique, and that's all there is. So I'm gonna get this cleaned up, do some touch up on the panel lines that I need to, and when we come back, we'll see where we're at. Alright, stay tuned. Okay guys, well, everything's pretty well dry, and I started the weathering process with the Starship filth, and basically what I did is I did this half this way and then left this half new. I don't know if it's going to show in the video of how well that's turning out. Let me zoom out here a little bit and see. I don't know if you can, yeah, you can a little bit. I'm just looking in the camera right now. So you can see what I've done on this side versus this side. And basically that's all I want to do. I just want to dirty it up a little bit. I mean, I'm not going drastic. I'm not doing heavy weathering. I'm just, I want to take that toy effect off. So basically what we're doing with this is we're using Starship filth. You need a little mineral spirit. You're going to need 3 brushes. One for the oil, and what I would suggest is, I'm going to zoom in here a little bit, is get one that's a little broad, fatter, comes to a point. Then you need 2 flat brushes. My camera work. Okay, and I'll show you, because basically what we're going to do is we're going to take one brush, dip it in to the mineral spirit, and I'm going to zoom back out so you can maybe see this. Let me get it in frame here a little bit. So basically what we do is we're just going to dip it in the mineral spirit, kind of shake it. We don't want to take a lot out. We want this one to kind of be wet. So basically all we're going to do is we're going to just brush. And we're going to brush on some mineral spirit. You want to make sure you get it pretty well covered. You don't want any really dry spots. And so that's about the section I want to do right now. It's just three sections that I'm going to show you guys. Okay, so we set that one to the side. Then you take your pointed brush. Right here's my oil. I just got a very little bit right here. Don't need a whole lot, guys. Trust me, this stuff, once you get it, goes a long way. And because we're not going heavy, I'm not really loading the brush. So basically all I'm going to do is I'm going to just lightly tap a little bit of oil on. Not much, just enough. And that's it. No more. Okay, like I said, we're just going real light. And that might be a little too heavy. So your other brush, dip it in the mineral spirit, and then brush it out. Basically you're going to do what's the dry brush technique. And for those you don't know, it's you're just loading the brush and then you're taking out as much as you can. So basically like that. So then always go in the same direction of travel. So I wanted to go this way, bow to aft, and then sometimes I'll go aft to bow. But you don't want to do side to side. You want it to be uniform. And again, very, very lightly, you just take and brush. Going in the same direction, you just take and brush. Not very heavy. You're just doing real light. And as you can see there, like I said, I might have got a little too much. That's real easy to take care of. I kind of did that as a happy accident because I want to show you guys kind of what's going to happen here. So basically, I'm just going to keep brushing. Sometimes you need to go drab your brush off a little more, get some of that oil out. And you can do that. And then just keep working it back and forth. Now as you can see, it's a little bit darker than the rest of what I've got done right here because like I said, I ended up using too much. So basically all I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, again, just dab it, and then just very lightly I'm just going to pull it and get some of that oil off. Okay? Very simple. And just keep pulling. So now, dab that off. I'm going to take my other brush again and just go back and just keep working this oil. Like I said, it's not right there. I'm kind of pulling to the side because it gets in that phaser bank. And then like I said, you generally want to try to keep going one direction, not two, not three, not yeah. So basically, again, just light brush strokes. Like in the crevices, you might have to pull to the side, but just nice, easy strokes till you get it well blended into what you want. So sometimes you might have to turn your kit just to see what's going on. See where that oil piled up a little bit more than what you wanted. And like I said, just nice, easy brush strokes, flat. You know, you can go fast, slow, whatever it takes to blend it in. That's basically all you're doing is just blending. So, like I said, right here I kind of got a little more than I want. So to help with that, like I said, either I'm going to go this way or I'm going to go this way. So now I'm going to take it back this way and just take some off. Again, like I said, if I think there's too much, I just dab a little bit and then I just come in and I just lightly pull that oil. And again, I'll just take my dry brush and just pull it. Pull it back, cover it, do what I need to. And guys, that's basically 101 with modeling oils. And this one, like I said, Starship Filth. So, I'm going to keep working on this. So as you can tell, you can see that nice little difference right there right now from the rest of the saucer. You can see that where that looks like a toy and now this is starting to weather and get a little age on it, and you know, that nice used feel. You know, like I said, these ships, you know, even with the deflector dishes, you know, I don't think it keeps everything out of the way. So I'm going to keep working on this, and we'll come back when I get done and we'll see where we're at for the rest of the weekend. Alright guys, see you in a bit. Alright guys, back at it. It's Sunday. We're doing some light finishing up before I start putting the video together. So wanted to show you, got the first initial stage of weathering done. As you can see, basically all I did was just take down the color. Yeah, it's got some dark spots, but that's fine. You know, what I want to do is just get rid of that toy look, and like I said, it's just a light, get her done, break up some of the monotony of, like I said, look like a toy. Got the nacelles done. All the decals, like I said, are done. I got my gloss coat going on the secondary hull, got everything tied up that I'm going to finish with that before I finish up the kit decals. But like I said, I've got to put that gloss coat to protect the Aztecs, and then I'm going to do the kit. And basically, guys, from here on out, once I get that done, it's just getting her put together and making sure everything's still working. Now I might have a little touch up to do on the saucer, some places where the oil's a little darker than I wanted, but other than that, I'm really happy with how it turned out. turn this over, let you guys look at the bottom there. Like I said, there's some dark spots like right here. I need to take my brush back through and just lighten that up. That's the great thing about working with these oils and the mineral spirits is if you don't like what it looks like, you can go back through and lighten it down. Now, I don't know if I said it in the previous video, but make sure, guys, after you put your decals on, before you do anything another step of weathering, you're going to have to put another gloss coat. That's going to seal in all your decals, and it's going to allow you to do the weathering. And that allow you, if you don't like the color, you don't like how it's turning out, you can clean it and start over again. If you don't put that gloss coat down, it's pretty much there. It's done. Like the decals with that gloss coat, it gives that surface something to work with. It smooths it out, makes it even to play with. So I'm going to let that finish drying, and I'm going to put these away. I might go ahead and give it a matte coat, see what I think of that after I take down these darker areas, and we'll get back at it. Hopefully next week when you tune in, we will have the nacelles and the neck and getting finished up. I mean, we're really about at the end. My goal, like I said, is to be done before Easter weekend. I have a long weekend next weekend. My son's confirmation's happening, so I'm taking a 3-day weekend, spend some time with him on that. So Friday I'll get a little bit more go time on this before we have to go to services. So with that, guys, I want to wish you a happy rest of your weekend and have a happy and safe week, and we'll see you next week on the bench.